There are so many tripods on the market, which one is right for landscape photography? I've recently switched to the Winston Pro 2 from British company three-legged thing. I'm going to put it through its paces so you don't have to. Well, hello, good morning, welcome back to the channel. It is absolutely freezing out here today. The wind chill is amazing. But anyway, we're going to attempt to complete a video for you today because I made a promise. A few months ago, I purchased a new tripod. And the new tripod, the Winston Pro 2 from three-legged thing, is a bit of a departure from what I normally use. But I had a main aim with this purchase. I needed to save weight in my camera gear, and I needed to save weight at a very economical price. So on the first part of this review, I suggest it really depends whether or not I managed to achieve that goal. And yes, I did. I managed to save a kilogram of weight, and all in with the L bracket, also from three-legged thing, it cost me about £400, which is really pretty good. But the question is whether or not it actually worked for me in practice, and whether it achieved its goals, and whether it meets the minimum requirements that I had. So it's a little bit warmer where I've come down to take my photographs, but it's still quite cold. I can hardly speak, my lips have gone numb. But before we go on and take any photographs, I just want to reacquaint you with exactly the features which I thought were really essential for a good landscape photography tripod, and why I chose the Winston Pro. So the first thing, if you remember, is I really wanted to save weight. Well, the Winston Pro 2 with the L bracket on the head tends to come in just over 2 kilograms. So that's about a whole kilo lighter than the Manfrotto that I was using before. And that might not sound a lot, but it is quite a lot if you're walking a reasonable distance. It feels a lot more comfortable on my back. The thing with a landscape photography tripod, it's no point having a short tripod. You need to be able to reach height, and you need to be able to reach that maximum height with the center column down as low as possible, because what you don't want to do is introduce any instability into it. You need a tripod that's very stable. The Winston is probably a good balance between maximum height that I would like to have and carryability in terms of weight, so it checks that box as well. Ease of use is also important. You don't want to be out on a day like today when it's absolutely freezing cold and trying to fiddle with lots of different controls, complicated setups, difficult to use clamps and brackets, and trying to sort out using the camera. So I wanted something that had quick release platforms on it, few knobs and dials and things to use, and make it very easy to use in use. It also ticked all of those boxes. I've gone to a ball head rather than a three-way pan and tilt head, and the reason that I've done that is to do with my joints, to be honest. The old head that I had was difficult to use. If I wanted to rotate it, pan, tilt the head, there was 3 separate controls to undo. The poor little pinkies are suffering from a bit of arthritis these days, so I wanted something that I could adjust with just one turn of the knob and turn back the other way. So that works reasonably well for me as well. The twist locks on the legs, nice big and chunky, nice rubber grips, so I can get my hands around them nice and easily and use those to adjust the legs, the height and the center column. So I'm going to see if I can take a quick photograph. Two-second timer on. I'll put the raw file up so you can have what it looks like. There's literally just a few paces to go to get to our next location. So join me over there and we'll go through some more of the pros and cons of this tripod. So do I have any reservations about my new friend Winston? Well, yes, I think I do. I do have a few reservations. I'm going to take some more photographs and explain a bit more in a minute, but these reservations that I've got are really quite small ones, and I don't think they're ever going to actually turn out to be a problem. I need to change the way that I work slightly, and I need to get over the fact that I've used an aluminium tripod for so long, and now I have a carbon fibre one. So let's just see how I get on with the next photograph. So I guess you want a verdict. You want to know whether or not my new three-legged friend here, Winston, is going to stay with me or whether he's going to get left at home. Well, the good news, and it's good news, but I spent £400 on him, is that it has worked out really, really well for me. I'm going to be using this tripod more and more. In fact, it's going to be the only tripod that I carry with me for taking my still photography. Why is that? Well, basically it ticks all the boxes in terms of the specification that I wanted. It's much easier to use this ball head with the gloves on than it was before. That enables me to sort of give my hands a bit of respite in the cold, especially with the arthritis that's setting in. That makes it really easy to use. Couple that with the L bracket as well when you're doing vertical shooting is a real revelation. If you haven't got an L bracket for your ball head, use one, or should I say get one. The other thing, of course, as well that works really, really well for me is these big leg locks, these big sort of rubber grips that you can use and get hold of. That's working really, really well. Very easy to use. So ease of use, light, reasonable cost, works out really, really well. Can't fault it. So what else is there? What else? Well, there are a few points on the tripod that I want to raise that are concerns. Now, there may not be things which ever become an issue, but I just want to mention them. One is a change in the way that I work. On my old Manfrotto tripod, the leg angle adjustment locks clicked into place with a spring mechanism, so you knew that they were locked and they were in the right place. On the Winston, they don't do that. They pull in and out manually. And I'm just afraid that I'm going to leave them out and it's not going to be set up quite as stable as it could be. In fact, I can see a little bruising on one of those locks already, or one of those edges. Not sure if that's caused by the way I've used it. So maybe that's going to be an issue. The other thing, of course, as well, is that this is a carbon fibre tripod. It's not a heavy weight aluminium one that I was using previously. And what I've noticed in operation is that when the legs are sprayed out too far, it's not quite as stable. It does have a little bit more spring and bounce in it. Maybe that's due to the lower weight, so it's maybe just something which I've got to get used to. I might well change the feet that I've got on it so that I can dig it into soft ground. I think that's going to make it work a lot better. The feet that come with it are perfectly adequate, but I think an improvement for soft ground. Most of the terrain that I sort of work on is either rock or soil, and I think a different type of different type of foot would actually work. And there are a number of different ones you can buy on the website through Three-Legged Thing. The other thing that I would like to say as well is that I'm not quite sure how long these twist locks are going to last. I'm used to an old standard traditional size lock which I can flip open with a catch on the outside of the leg. My old Manfrotto, I've taken it to bits many times after trips to the beach or getting thoroughly soaked and drenched in water, and it just keeps on going. The fine threads on these locks, the internal mechanisms to clamp the tubes, I'm just not sure if that's going to prove to be a little bit too complex, a little bit too susceptible to dirt getting in there and getting damaged. But only time will tell. After I've stripped it down, cleaned it a few times, put it back together, we will see how that lasts and how that works. So would I recommend this tripod? Well, if you haven't figured out by now, yes, I would recommend it. If you're looking for a sub £400 setup, carbon fibre, lightweight, real good decent height, something that you can get out with and use for your landscape photography, strap onto your camera bag or backpack and carry all day, then this tripod is a definite goer for landscape photographers. So I'm going to put some links up where you can go and purchase this tripod. Some of those may be affiliate links. I'm not sponsored in any way by Three Legged Thing or anybody else. It just means if you use those links, I get a very small commission, and it helps support this channel and gets me out taking photographs and bringing more content back to you guys. So I guess that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found this useful. If you were thinking of buying a new tripod, then maybe it's given you some things to think about. Now let's put up those images that I've taken fully processed so you can see that what I've done today. Warm side light and sweeping moorland ridge lines, creating shadowy folds in the landscape, ancient tours and secrets, simply stunning. A tricky composition to balance, and still it does not feel right. One day I will return. I know this location has more to share. Well, that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching. I hope you found it useful. If you're thinking of going out and buying a new tripod, hopefully it's cleared up a few things for you, giving some ideas, things to think about, and possibly another brand to go for. So I'm going to pack up. I'm freezing cold. It's time to get back to the van, get home, have a nice hot drink and a shower, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.